There is no such thing as spiritual beings and spirituality. The hallucinations and delusions that are seen are all related to our nerves and brain and are symptoms that indicate that a psychological and/or neurological disorder has begun in the person. The scientific explanation for this condition is psychosis. Shared psychosis is when these hallucinations and delusions begin to be seen and spread to close relatives and friends. The best example of this situation is the movie, Karadere Incident, which is claimed to be adapted from a true story. The story is about a few villagers who say they see a demon and instill fear in the other villagers, and over time they start saying they see a demon and eventually they have to evacuate an entire village. Another example is the dancing disease called dancing plague that occurred in the Middle Ages. Although there are no imaginary beings in this, a trend emerges and everyone is affected by this trend over time. This incident may be considered an example of herd mentality. Religious brokers and politicians can use this very well. Religious brokers have transformed this discomfort into profit by claiming that people are possessed. Politicians loyal to the system can also rally their sides with similar tactics. If you do not behave and obey us, we can destroy you with our weapons of mass destruction. Religious brokers have also managed to scare people from both sides and suppress their minds by saying that if you do not obey them, the owners of the system, they can destroy you. If you put too much pressure on your brain, it is normal for it to show you abstract delusions. The more advanced dimension of this is that you start to harm yourself with the power of thought. You can research the Nick Sitzman example and the Pygmalion effect. I don't know if these stories are true or not, but if you don't have a certain level of knowledge and equipment, and especially if you focus on religious subjects, over time you may see black shadows behind the door and experience momentary spasms and shocks for no reason. You may sweat for no reason in winter days and feel cold in summer days. These are normal and experienced by many people. Every part of our body, including the brain, can withstand a certain amount of strain, but when this limit is exceeded, there is a high probability of damage. For example, if someone who lifts 10 to 15 kilograms of weight suddenly tries to lift 100 to 150 kilograms, they will most likely experience a muscle tear. Our brain is like that too. Just like water doesn't get into a full glass, our brain can no longer take in, process any more information, and as a side effect it starts showing us some unreal images. To get rid of this situation, we need to take a break from what we do for a while and return to nature. In this way, these effects will disappear over time. We are the ones who create all the fears, and these fears suit some people and they can control us with them. They can create imaginary gods and equip them with imaginary powers to scare people. Just think, almost the entire world is afraid of these imaginary beings and they worship them unconsciously. This is the biggest example of shared psychosis. Don't torture your brain. Free your mind and step out of the circle. If you tire your brain, it will tire you too. Don't believe everything you are told when there is so much misinformation. They did not give us our current sense organs so that we could chase after spirits, ghosts. They gave them to us so that we could chase after things we can see, hear, and taste, and so that we could survive. While searching for invisible imaginary beings, we unknowingly miss real life and its pleasures. These disconnect us from reality and imprison us in the dream worlds created by others. Just like today,